Before, buying a video game meant you owned it. You owned the entire experience of the game. Today, before you even play your first game, you're offered a battle pass. Premium currency, daily login rewards, limited time bundles and lucky draws, and an item shop that resets every 24 hours. And the idea behind video games slowly started changing because the biggest inspiration behind modern games isn't other games anymore. It was coming from casinos. And by the end of this video, you will understand how every major game adopted the same formula. Let's rewind the tape a bit to understand this whole thing. There was a time when video games only had one job: to be good enough for you to buy it. At that time, that was the entire business model. A studio would spend years making a game, release it, and hope people liked it. And if the people did like it, the company made money. But if the people didn't, well, too bad. There was no battle pass that could save a flopping game. Once you bought the game, the transaction was over. Which meant developers had one initiative: make the best game possible, because every sale depended on one thing: whether or not people thought it was worth buying. I think that system was perfect because once again it forced gaming producers to just give it their all and make the greatest game they can. Time went and the internet became faster and games became permanently connected, and developers realized selling your game didn't have to become the end of the transaction anymore. It could be the beginning. At first, it seemed like a good thing. Faster internet meant developers could update their games, fix bugs, and add new content. Keep players around for longer. Introducing the smartphone. Smartphones changed everything. People were playing video games without paying a single dollar. And it sounded like a terrible business model until developers noticed something. Most players never spent money, but a tiny percentage of them spent hundreds, sometimes even thousands. And those players became known as whales. And the whales changed the industry completely because studios realized focusing on the whales was the kill move, so keep them happy. And that changed the goal completely, because instead of asking, how do we convince people to buy our game, the question now was, how do we convince people to keep spending money? And once that became the goal, the design philosophy of games changed forever. Of course, spending money in a game wasn't a new idea. The problem wasn't that games were being monetized. It was how they were being monetized. Because developers discovered that the longer somebody stayed on the game, the more likely they were to spend more money. So instead of designing games to be as fun as possible, many started designing them to be as engaging as possible. Fun makes you want to play. Engagement makes you not want to leave. Suddenly, daily login rewards became a thing. Limited time events, battle passes, and weekly challenges, things that made gaming feel like a chore. And the mechanics of this new business model felt very familiar. Casinos. Casinos have used the exact same psychology for decades. Modern games didn't become casinos because they put slot machines on every game tab. They became casinos because they started using the same psychological tricks. And the model, of course, started making billions, which gave the rest of the industry no reason to stop. The common thought everybody has is, if players hated these systems, then companies would stop using them. But the opposite happened. They worked. Every time a new game proved a new monetization system could make more money, the rest of the industry copied, because every publisher saw the numbers. Imagine you're running a game studio. You can spend 5 years making an incredible game, sell it for $70 and hope people will buy. Or you can make free games and keep players coming back every single day and earn hundreds of dollars from every single player over time. From a business perspective, the choice isn't even close. The problem is, this isn't just happening with mobile games. It's everywhere. Console games, PC games, sports shooters, even games made for children. Once the industry discovered that attention could be monetized, every extra second you spent playing became valuable. That's why so many modern games want you to build a habit. Open the game, complete today's challenges, and come back tomorrow. None of those things makes the game more fun. I think everybody knows this, but they make the player more predictable. Gaming feels different today, not because developers suddenly forgot how to make a game, but because the business changed. Games used to compete for your money. Now they compete for your time. Once they have your time, they have a much higher chance of getting your money. And that's how games slowly stopped being designed like games and started being designed like casinos. That is going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to leave a comment giving me feedback on what you think I could do better in my videos. And if you have anything else, of course, drop in the comment sections. Like, subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, I will be seeing you in the next one. Peace.